Alright, this is to the west of the house. It's really kind of sits catty cornered so it's not due west, but kind of mostly. This goes down into the back between the house and the woods. I have a young oak tree that planted itself here, so I've kept stakes around it so it doesn't get broken. And there's that's a white multiflora rose, which is not native, and so you have to kind of keep after it, not let it sprout everywhere. There's a path I cut to the back steps. Here's the tree that broke in the last 2 storms. Here's where I planted some of my sunchoke roots to see how they do. They're doing great. I've trimmed some of the giant ragweed and goldenrod away from them to give them more space. That's the shed that's very slowly falling to the ground. That goes to the neighbor's fence on the west side. This is the giant ragweed I never heard of. See, I chopped them off before they bloomed this year. I never heard of before I moved here. I was used to pulling all the small type ragweed. It has more ferny leaves. I pulled it before it would bloom when I lived other places because my daughter Carrie was so allergic to everything in the air. This is just a mix of wild flowers. I just have cut myself pathways through because I like having them for me and for the pollinators. There's my shed over there. That path goes up around to the back stairs the other way and to the back of the house where I hang laundry. These are, you see those get real tall. This is ironweed, and they're not open yet, but it gets beautiful purple, kind of very red lavender kind of flowers, very bright. My big pink wild native prairie roses back there. I try to keep things kind of trimmed away enough for it to get sunlight. See, it's growing. It has some tall stems there, you can see. And a couple more sunchoke, but I'm not sure they're getting too much shade. I don't like to trim trees if I don't have to. I think this little tree is a wild black cherry because the bark on it, it's a little small still, but the bark on it is similar to the one I identified in the front that is a wild black cherry that's native to this area. The back of my shed. The neighbor's fence is right here. Someone at some point before I was ever here laid it down and drove over it. So there's a fence laying there. But I keep any tree growth out of or hard shrub growth trimmed out here underneath the cables. And I don't know, I used to mow a truck wide path back here, but after the electric was put in, I'm just leaving most of the wildflowers grow their natural height and making myself a path that I keep open. This is looking down into the woods toward the creek. This is 1 acre that's about 100 feet wide, so it goes down 300 feet to the creek and then up. Well, I haven't been down there that far yet. I have to cut a fence somebody put across side to side. I have tools for cutting that fence, so I'm not going to do it until it's cool weather. And see how steep it is to get to or how high it is to get to down to the creek. And then I know that you can't go down there when it's been raining a lot because it comes pretty high. You can see signs of where it comes pretty high when it's overflowing. But I don't know, I might have to get one of those roll-up ladders, like for camping or fire safety or something, and get up and down from there once in a while. Anyway, the place goes on to another 100 feet past the creek. Somebody asked me if I was going to cut trees. No, I would not cut a tree unless it's legally required or too close to the wall of the house and shed. I did have to trim some along the shed for the electric company. There's the back of the shed. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little fish over there I painted in the water. That's water. And this is the neighbor's fence on the east side we're walking by. And the east side of the shed. This is the half of the locust tree that fell. You can see it through over there, down at the bottom of the steps, back steps. When there was a tornado, about, 10, 20 miles away, there was the hard wind here that took half the tree down and laid it very gently over the top of the other tree that has the electric entry cable or connector cable through it. So the electric company did not want to drive out and take care of that. They said it's not, if it's not laying on the wire, they're not worried about it. So I'm just watching it. This other half draped itself over the shed. There's the meter pedestal my daughter built. She installed the electric. Uh, I dug the ditch for the conduits and the entry cables, and then I added more circuits after she had finished. That's a pile of wood that tree trimmers left scattered. So I stacked it all here by the house, and I have vines growing, honeysuckle growing up the back steps there on a type of trellis net, and have a native wild grown bull nettle. It's covered with flower buds right now. It's easier to see this one here. They're very pretty color. Usually that pink, the flower spreads out more over the next couple days probably, and it's got a yellow center. Those seed pods get brown and inch thick or so or more. Make very nice dried decoration. This is brush pile I've left from tree trimmers. I gathered all the small stuff and laid it there because the little wrens and some other birds and different animals like to get under it and either rest or hunt for crawly things. This is what did let's see, I looked that up. What did I see that was? But, something dock. I want to say boondock, but that's not right. Burdock's not right. I'll have to think of it. Anyway, I'm leaving it grow. It's kind of a pretty plant. It's not native. It's like from Texas or whatever, but it gets flowers. They're pink or red, and then they are covered with snags, though, with like wiry things that catch on clothes and fur and stuff. So I wouldn't want more than one, but I think it's pretty. I like watching it grow. That's poke salad, which when it's small, there are some people. I actually had it once before I had read much about it. I decided not to eat things that I have to pick and boil and rinse twice before it's big enough to kill me. So this gets there. Some of that's turning ripe. It looks like it gets very black, shiny berries, and it's kind of a pretty plant. You just not supposed to touch it. And I have some blackberries. I don't know if they're blackberries or raspberries yet. Something gets them before I ever see any color on them. And one year it just was cool and then hot, and the berries sort of shriveled up. Well, that's the tour. Eventually, I'll do a tour going down through the woods, but I want to wait till I can go further than, at least as far as the creek, and see how that looks, and get a look up the next hill. That'll be fun. And that's one of my sunchoke plants, which I don't know why. There's no connection, but some people have named that and commonly call it Jerusalem artichoke, because the roots are edible, sort of nut flavored. They look a lot like ginger. So that's why I planted them. Anything native that's edible, I try to either plant or keep and protect if it's already here. There are so far 5 kinds of greens I've learned that come up on their own here.